the truth? Think again. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner, the podcast for curious minds who love mysteries, theories, and the unexplained. We dig deeper, question everything, and uncover the shadows. What if everything you thought you knew wasn't the full story? Welcome to Conspiracy Corner, the podcast where we dig into the theories people can't explain and the truths they might be hiding. Today we're diving into Mandela effects, the Mountain Dew conspiracy, and the simulation theory. Understanding these things isn't about curiosity, it's about questioning the information we've been given and thinking for yourself in a world full of noise. Stick around, because we'll talk about why people remember things differently, if the new Mountain Dew drink means the end of the world, and what if we lived in a simulation. I'm your host, Ava, and I've spent hours researching these things to give you the answers you deserve. So turn out the lights, grab a snack, and let's dive into the unknown. Today, we're going to be doing the Mandela effect, which is when a large group of people remember something differently from how it actually happened. The name comes from people believing Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 1980s, even though he was released and lived until 2013. Some of the most well-known examples are the Berenstain Bears. People remember it as the Berenstain Bears, but it's actually Berenstain Bears. People strongly recall the Steen part as Stein. However, there is proof that it's Stain, Stain. People also remember the Monopoly Man differently. People think that the Monopoly Man has a monocle on his eye, but actually he does not. I'm pretty sure people got it mixed up with Mr. Peanut, who does have a monocle, so they just kind of mixed them together. That, or he did have a monocle at one point, or that's just the Mandela effect. In Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, people quote Luke, "I am your father," but the actual line is, "No, I am your father," which is really interesting because I also remember it as Luke, I am your father. In Pokemon, many people believe Pikachu has a black tip on his tail. However, he does not. I don't know why people remember him having a black tip on his tail. I don't know if he has black on him anywhere else, and people just got it confused. But then another one is the Fruit of the Loom logo. People remember the clothing brand having a cornucopia, which is a horn-shaped basket. But Fruit of the Loom has never actually used a basket to hold the fruit on the logo. Now we're going to get into the Mountain Dew theory. The Mountain Dew theory is an internet conspiracy theory claiming that new flavors released by Mountain Dew somehow predict or are connected to major disasters or tragedies. Supporters of the theory say about 90 days after new flavors released, a major global event happens. They believe the names of the drinks are clues or warnings. Code Red, which came out in 2001, was released in May. Then a few months later, the September 11 attacks happened, and those occurred also in 2001. People believe that the name Code Red sounds like an emergency alert, and the timing just seems suspicious. However, many products are released every year, and disasters unfortunately happen regularly around the world, so overlaps can occur by chance. Baja Blast came out in 2004, and it was connected to the Indian Ocean tsunami. Later that year, after Baja Blast was released, the Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami killed hundreds and thousands of people across multiple countries. The timing fits the 90-day pattern, and the word blast sounds destructive. But again, the connection is only based on timing and word association. The Maui burst came out in 2019, and the Maui wildfires also happened. The drink was released about 3 years earlier, so the large time gap weakens the theory, but it still is close enough in time. Pitch Black came out in 2024, and the CrowdStrike outage happened. They focused on the word black, suggesting it symbolized a blackout. The Star Spangled Splash came out in 2024, and then the bridge collapsed. The Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed shortly after the Star Spangled Splash drink came out. There are a few psychological reasons this idea spreads online. Humans naturally look for patterns, even when none exist. This is called apophenia. Your brain connects names, dates, and events because it wants to make things make sense. There's also confirmation bias, which is when people notice evidence that support a belief and people ignore evidence that doesn't. There are dozens of Mountain Dew flavors released without any major events afterwards, but those examples are usually ignored. Social media platforms also amplify this. TikTok and Reddit can spread unusual ideas very quickly, especially when they feel mysterious or shocking. The timeline doesn't consistently work either. Now, the 90-day rule is not consistent, often requires stretching dates, and often ignores large time gaps. For example, the Maui burst and the Maui wildfires had a gap of years, not months. Product releases happen constantly. There's always new flavors, limited editions, seasonal products, all the time at the same time. Major events unfortunately occur somewhere in the world every year, so overlaps are statistically likely. Okay, now we're going to move on to the simulation theory. This theory suggests that reality might be an artificial simulation, like a video game. The universe could be created and controlled by advanced technology. The idea comes from Nick Bostrom. In 2003, he proposed that at least one of these must be true. Civilizations go extinct before creating simulations. Advanced civilizations don't run simulations, and we are probably living in one. This is known as the simulation argument. The theory is based on probability. If future technology becomes powerful enough to simulate entire universes, then there could be millions of simulated realities, only one reality. So statistically, you're more likely to be in a simulation than an original world. These are not proven facts, just ideas sporters discuss. The universe behaves like code. Math describes reality perfectly. Physical laws are consistent, and space and time have limits. Some compare this to video game physics. There's also quantum physics weirdness. In quantum physics, scientists discovered particles behave differently when observed. This is called observer effect. Some people interpret this as reality rendering when watched, like graphics loading in a game. The universe has limits. There's the speed of light maximum, smallest measurable units, and finite energy. These resemble system limits in computing. There are also arguments against the simulation theory, which are there's no measurable proof, no detected code, and no confirmed glitches. It may be impossible to test. Simulation theory may be philosophical and speculative. It doesn't change daily life. Even if it's true, physics, biology, and reality would still function the same, so practically nothing changes. Why people find it fascinating is that the theory connects to video games, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, science fiction. The movies like The Matrix and Ready Player One made the idea popular in mainstream culture. So today on Conspiracy Corner, we explored some of the strangest ideas people are talking about, from mysterious Mandela effects to living in a simulation. Whether you believe these theories or not, they remind us how powerful curiosity and questioning can be. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to follow Conspiracy Corner, share it with a friend, and stay tuned for more mysteries. Next time on Conspiracy Corner, we're going to uncover hidden messages in music and a conspiracy that sounds impossible but may have real evidence behind it. Until next time, keep questioning, keep listening, and stay curious.